Hello, everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN Politics written by Chris Cillizza. He managed to take time away from his Trump derangement to actually write something that wasn't Trump bad, Orange Man bad, Trump evil. Like, he finally managed to take 2 seconds away from doing something like that. Or actually more than 2 seconds where he had to write this article. Now, this was published on April 22nd. Let's take a look here. Gretchen Whitmer's rise just took another hit. Yeah, well, it's more than taking a hit. She's shady as all fucking hell. All right, there was some major graft going on here, but hey, let's just ignore that. On Tuesday, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer canceled a no-bid state contract dealing with WuFlu testing that she had announced just the previous day after complaints emerged because two of the firms involved were connected to state and national Democratic consultants. So basically, it was play for pay graft. Okay, it was, we're just going to hand this off to this buddy's company here, or this Democratic bigwigs friggin' friends company, or someone who contributed a lot of money to them or whatever else. Really shady shit going on. She got caught with this. She should be getting tanked with this. Her career should be going in the toilet. But you don't see that happening. But hey, whatever, hey. She's involved in graft, but hey, whatever. If this was a Republican, they would be demanding he step down from his office. That. They'd be demanding a criminal investigation. There would be like them losing their shit, going and there would be an investigation while these people are reeing and everything else. But because it's her, oh no, the authoritarian bitch gets a pass. The executive office is uncomfortable with this vendor for the same reason others are, Whitmer Press Secretary Tiffany Brown told the Washington Post, which first reported the story. The public needs to have confidence that this tracing work is being done by a nonpartisan firm. The state is committed to ensuring this important tracing work can be done quickly to help save lives, while also ensuring that public health data is safe and secure. So what? We should have been worried on whether it was going to be safe and secure because it was a Democrat, in bed with a Democrat fucking company that got a no bid contract? Well, actually, I would be a little concerned on that note. But I mean, this is shady as all hell. And this doesn't even respond to that, really. It's like, oh, well, we were uncomfortable with that vendor. Well, weren't you uncomfortable with it before the public knew about it? Because wouldn't you have to know who this vendor is, who the people are involved? And there wouldn't be names being passed around or that might, come up when, looking and seeing if the company would be the best choice to just give a no bid contract to? Come on now. You knew, Whitmer. You knew. Your staff knew. Your ass should be grass for this, you authoritarian bitch. You corrupt, crony, Democrat, authoritarian bitch. Your ass should be grass for this woman. I mean, this is ridiculous. That sort of rapid walkback is a reflection of two facts. Whitmer knows her administration screwed up. Be more like Whitmer knows that she got caught with her hand in the fucking cookie jar, but whatever. And number two, Whitmer knows she is very much in the national spotlight these days. Yeah. Because she's an authoritarian bitch. That's why. And she's right about both. Whitmer, who was elected governor in 2018 after a stint in the Michigan state legislature, has been on a meteoric rise in national Democratic politics for much of the past 18 months. She was chosen for the coveted gig of delivering the Democratic response to President Donald Trump's State of the Union speech earlier this year and drew generally positive reviews for it. What? From blue check marks on fucking Twitter, asshole? From people like you who think you're fucking special because that little blue check mark next to your name? Because legacy media hacks that are Trump deranged dipshits said it was a good speech. The average American who looked at it, okay, who isn't Trump deranged, went, what the fuck is this bitch trying to pull here? And you're trying to play it some other way because you don't think the average American, the people who actually matter when it comes down to voting, matter. Oh my God. Oh, come on now, Saliza. Michigan becoming one of the hotspots of the WuFlu pandemic, and President Trump's dismissive reference to how she was handling the crisis in her state again raised her profile significantly. That's not exactly how he did it. He wasn't really dismissive of her. I love this. So they linked to a CNN article that... Okay, I was going to say, is it written by Saliza? But he points out that all she's doing is blaming the federal government and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. So basically, that's their dismissive references, but all right, whatever. Pointing out that she's being, that she's being an authoritarian bitch and trying to blame the government and federal government and wants the federal government to do her job and stuff like that. Okay. That's dismissive when it's actually pointing that shit out. Whatever. Fine. Suddenly, Whitmer was everywhere. Cable TV, Sunday talk shows, and yes, climbing away up the ranks of former Vice President Joe Biden's potential VP picks. So basically, because you people were propping her up, she was everywhere? Oh, oh my God, Saliza, this is some sad shit, dude. And almost as suddenly, the backlash hit. Following a series of executive orders, further restricting Michiganders' ability to freely move about the state amid the WuFlu announced by Whitmer, in early April, unrest began to grow. Well, that's an understatement. That culminated on April 15th when thousands of cars carrying protesters descended on the state capitol in Lansing to voice their unhappiness with her policies. Wow. This is one of the things I noticed about this article. CNN tried to play it up as just a small little group of people. It was no one really showed up. It wasn't really anyone that it was just a few people. You had wow. I'm sorry. I'm just figuring with the cars, how many people would be in the cars and see how many people actually showed up. That type of thing. So I apologize for the dead air, for lack of a better term. So let's say they had, with thousands, we'll say they had a couple thousand, just for easy math, we'll say 2,000. And the average car load was, or vehicle load was 2 people. So you got 2,000, that's 2 people. That's 4,000 people in cars in the Capitol, not including the other people that were outside their cars that were standing there with signs and social distancing and stuff like that. And they try to portray this. CNN did, MSNBC, as, it's just a small little fringe group of the population that's protesting. You had thousands, plural, of cars. Just cars in the Capitol, which they lied about. They were blocking hospitals, which then you had it come out that they weren't, but they're still trying to push that friggin' narrative. Okay, but that narrative doesn't fly with reality, but then you have, say, Black Lives Matter that was blocking ambulances and hospital entrances and stuff like that. And you get the legacy media going, they didn't do nothing. They didn't do a damn thing. No, they weren't blocking anything. And you get the local police, chief going, they blocked off the entrance to the hospital and ambulances couldn't get in. You've got, footage of it. And they're like, no, they didn't. They didn't do that. So I'm surprised that Saliza is actually saying that there were thousands there, because that goes against the narrative that CNN was pushing. I'm thinking she's fallen out of favor with the Democrat establishment or something. The people who do the anointing aren't liking her. Operation Gridlock, as the protest was known, became a sort of spark that led to a series of similar, if smaller, protests around the country. Oh, you gotta love that. If smaller. Okay, so that's where he's gonna go back with the whole toe in the line thing right there. All those other ones were just fringe. Okay, Saliza. Dude, you're supposed to be an editor. I've said this before about this guy's articles. You do not start a sentence with "and," especially if you are supposed to be an editor. You are supposed to be looking and proofreading stuff. You would think you would proofread your own stuff. Anyway. So, and led to President Trump throwing his support behind the Michigan protesters with a tweet that read simply, "Liberate Michigan." Yeah, because she's a bit on the authoritarian side here. Just a little fucking bit. I mean, hell, you people tried to portray it like, oh, there was swastikas there, when it was literally a sign that said "Hail Whitmer," and had one next to it that was comparing her to, the particular dude from the 1930s, group of Germans that kind of led them, Adolf there. Yeah. You totally misrepresented that over there in the legacy media. Said, oh, there were Nazis there. Uh-huh. Oh, you people are ridiculous. Whitmer stood her ground, insisting that the measures she put in place were to protecting citizens of the state. Wow. Proofread your shit, dude. All right. Whitmer stood her ground, insisting that the measures she put in place were to protecting citizens of the state, whether they had not voted for her. Okay, so it would either be wherefore protecting citizens of the state, are for protecting citizens of the state, or were to protect citizens of the state, whether they had voted for her, whether or not they had voted for her. Jesus Christ, dude. Proofread your shit. A small segment of the state is protesting, and that's their right, Whitmer told CNN's Jeffrey Ziegler recently. She also, no, not exactly. She said, yeah, it's your right, and then said basically, get your ass home and do what I fucking tell you. Let's leave that part out. Oh, it's their right, but it shouldn't be like she was basically attacking them for it, because they were calling her out for fucking authoritarian shit. The sad part is, though, that the more that they are out and about, the more likely they are to spread WuFlu, and the more likely they're going to have to take this and the more likely we're going to have to take this posture for a longer period of time. So basically what she's saying is, all right, you keep doing this, I'm going to extend this. This doesn't have to do with the WuFlu. This was like her basically making a threat. Well, if you're going to go and you're going to stand up to me and you're not going to bow down to me, well, then I'm going to flex my authoritative muscle more, okay? Like I'm doing a fucking Kegel, and I'm going to squeeze the shit out of you. That's what the fuck she's basically saying there. You're going to submit to me. She's not concerned or making it a concern that if they're out, they're going to spread it more. They're standing 6 feet apart from each other. They're in their vehicles. They're not exposing other people to themselves. So that threat is minimal on the note of it spreading. It's like almost non-existent. But her threat to flex her, muscle like she's doing a Kegel and forcing them to submit, yeah, that's real. But the coverage of Whitmer as perhaps a governor who had gone too far in enforcing quarantine regulations lingered. Yeah, because she has been an authoritarian bitch, but all right. And then came this latest story, which, whether an honest mistake or oversight or no, just looks plain bad. Like a Democratic partisan feathering the nests of other professional Democrats with state money, which is exactly what it was. It was exactly that. This is the judgment of Gretchen Whitmer, said Steve Guest, the director of rapid response at the Republican National Committee. She's either knowingly awarded contracts that would benefit Democrat organizations, or she mismanaged taxpayer money during the WuFlu pandemic crisis. Which is it? Either way, yeah, she looks bad. The truth is that this sort of enhanced scrutiny is to be expected for someone like Whitmer, who is not only one of the highest profile Democratic governors in the country, but is also in the mix to be on the national ticket in the fall. Oh, so this is just because she could be creepy Uncle Joe's replacement when it goes 3 weeks in and the stupid fuck is like out on the White House lawn out front running around in his fucking tighty whities because he's freaking senile and don't know where the fuck he is. And the job got to him in that short period of time. But, you know, he'll either be running around like that or he'll be walking around like that in a complete and total dazed, you know, and confused state. He won't be able to handle it. Oh my God, and he did it again with the and. And unlike, say, California Senator Kamala Harris or Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, who has been under this sort of scrutiny for much of the last year as they ran for president, Whitmer simply has not. This is a different kind of scrutiny, but okay. I mean, yeah, Kamala, her scrutiny was a bit more, but that's because the bitch is like crooked and shady as all fucking hell. A lying piece of shit who like, oh yeah, I used to smoke weed, you know, when I was back in college while listening to Biggie. Okay, and how many people did you throw in jail for smoking weed? And wasn't Biggie not like a thing when you were in college? Oh, just ignore that. Oh, God. A mistake like the one Whitmer made this week on state contracts isn't the end of her chances at national office. But the level of attention now being paid her isn't going to lessen anytime soon. Which means she and her team need to step up their game, even as she seeks to beat back the coronavirus, the WuFlu in her state. Now, what gets me is he also likes to do that fucking double dash shit. You know, you can put a comma there, and that works. You don't need to do the double dash shit. And this idea that what she did is a mistake, he's branding it a mistake at the end. He's supposed to be reporting the facts. He is branding it a mistake. So basically, if you make it to the end and you're a lefty and you're one of these Kool-Aid drinking CNN fuckwit dipshits who are like, you know, low IQ but think they're smarter than everybody else, which, trust me, I know a few of these people, all right? They listen to CNN, they listen to MSNBC, okay? They think they're so friggin' smart, all right? And they think they're smarter than you, and you look at them and they're probably lower end of average IQ, but for whatever reason, they think they're fucking like Mensa material. You know, and they're probably usually lower. They're like I said, lower end of function, you know, like average, but they might be below that at the high end of functioning. Yeah, these type of people, they buy that shit hook, line, and sinker. They would read this to the end, see that, and go, oh, it was a mistake, when it was clearly graphed. I mean, it doesn't take, you know, that Mensa level genius IQ type of IQ to figure that out either. I mean, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, odds are it's a fucking duck. And I don't think it's a duck-billed platypus. I mean, they don't exactly walk like a duck, but they do have the bill. I think you get my point. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.